10 most beautiful places in the world. The world is full of beautiful places that most of us don't even know about. From breathtaking waterfalls and jaw-dropping natural wonders to mysterious lost cities and quaint landmarks, you're never short on things to see or do. Shortlisting the 10 most beautiful places in the world is certainly not easy, and visiting all those beautiful places that this planet has to offer could take a lifetime, possibly more. However, we've shortlisted a few attractions that should always be close to the top of your bucket list, for each destination as an experience to be savored, a moment you're sure to cherish throughout your life. 10. Machu Picchu, Peru. Machu Picchu was built around the year 1450 and was occupied for almost 100 years before the Spanish conquest. This mesmerizing city was never discovered by the Spaniards and was literally forgotten until the early 20th century, meaning that most of its architectural wonders still remain intact. The hike up the hills is an adventure in itself, and this mysterious city looks most beautiful from the Inca Trail lookout point. 9. Rainbow Mountains, China. If you're in love with everything that the Grand Canyon represents and are closer to Asia than to North America, hop over to China to see the Rainbow Mountains of Zhangye Danja National Geological Park. Considered to be as stunning as the Grand Canyon, and one of the most beautiful places in all of China, the mountains present dramatic colors of maroon, magenta, yellows and greens due to trace minerals within the sandstone. 8. Milford Sound, New Zealand. Sydney Opera House, Waitomo Caves, Great Barrier Reef, Sydney Harbour Bridge. You have all kinds of attractions to keep you company while on tour to Australia and New Zealand. However, the moment you visit Milford Sound, everything else pales in view. This 1,692 meters high mountain is where you see all those Lord of the Rings fantasies come to life, and your first glimpse is likely to leave you with butterflies in your belly. No wonder that Milford Sound attracts more than 500,000 visitors per year. You can visit Milford Sound on foot, via helicopter or via bus tours. 7. Plitvice Lakes National Park, Croatia. No list of the most beautiful places in the world would ever be complete without mentioning Plitvice Lakes National Park in Croatia. This mesmerizing park is the largest national park in the country and is most famous for its 16 crystalline lakes that join one another through a series of cascades and waterfalls. You explore the park via 18 km of wooden pathways and footbridges that snake their way around the edges and across the waterfalls to offer unparalleled views of the area. Clouds of colorful butterflies also keep you company throughout your hike. No wonder that Plitvice Lakes manages to attract as many as 1,200,000 people per year. 6. Salar de Uyuni, Bolivia. The largest salt mine in the world is also one of its most beautiful wonders. Salar de Uyuni looks like one of those fantasy-like paintings of the Renaissance era, but it proudly stands as one of the most stunning spectacles of South America. The sheer beauty of this vast desert leaves you speechless, and the strange islands that form in a sea of salt present an unforgettable landscape that is sure to remain etched in your minds forever. 5. Huacachina, Peru. Sci lovers and artists will fall in love with Huacachina, a stunning desert oasis that leaves you mesmerized with its raw beauty and fantastical legends. Think of yourself sitting on a huge sand dune enjoying breathtaking sunset views as the landscape reveals vivid colors of red and yellow all around you. Right in front of you lies a dreamy oasis which looks like a still from one of those Arabian Nights movies, dotted with palm trees, covered with rustic hotels that offer the very best of luxury. Huacachina might lose out to Machu Picchu and Nazca in terms of popularity, but it provides a picture-perfect setting for those searching for mystery, adventure or romance. Spend the evening serenading your sweetheart by the lake, but don't forget to keep an eye out for the mermaid that is said to live there. 4. Grand Canyon National Park, USA. There's a reason more than 5 million people choose to visit the Grand Canyon each year. It's one of the most magical destinations on the planet. Irrespective of how much you read about the Grand Canyon, you're sure to end up being spellbound, for nothing prepares you for the magical sight that this wonder has to offer. Considered to rank among one of the top 7 wonders of the world, this fascinating piece of art feels strikingly familiar, yet entirely unique. Its sheer size leaves you speechless, and visiting the canyon during sunrise or sunset leaves you mesmerized because the scenery on display is so serene, so beautiful, so pure. The canyon is divided into 3 rims, north, west and south, and all 3 offer incredibly unique experiences. The South Rim is the most visited feature of the canyon, for it hosts a majority of the region's infrastructure, Native American ruins, viewpoints and historic artifacts. However, if you're after adventure and solitude, the North Rim is where you need to be. 3. The Fairy Pools, Isle of Skye, Scotland. You might suddenly start believing in fairies the moment your eyes fall on the Fairy Pool, an ethereal oasis that bewitches visitors with its crystal clear water, picture-perfect scenery and magical atmosphere. The waters are freezing, but if you're searching for wild swimming adventures, it truly doesn't get better than this. And if you're not as adventurous, a mere walk around the area, exploring aqua blue pools, each more appealing than the other, is sure to leave you in high spirits. The place also has its own infinity pool, bounded by a beautiful stone wall. 2. Whitehaven Beach, Australia. It's easy to see why the Whitehaven Beach ranks among the most photographed beaches in the world. The magnificent 7-kilometer stretch of white sand that feels like your own private slice of heaven presents an aura of peace and serenity, letting you experience relaxation at its very best. The beach is accessible via boat from Hamilton Island and the ports of Chute Harbour and Airlie Beach. To enjoy the best view of Whitehaven Beach, make your way to Tongue Point. Time your trip with a low tide and you'll get to see a mesmerizing fusion of colors that always promises the grandest of views. 1. Cappadocia, Turkey. Cappadocia is a living example of just how odd yet beautiful nature can be. It presents a fantasy-like landscape which looks like it's been plucked out of a fairy tale, alien-like hills and boulders that seem as if they've been transported from another planet. The humans who once lived here used the area's soft stone to create underground shelters, leaving all kinds of weird architectural wonders in their wake. The lunar landscape is stunning on its own, but the countless hot air balloons that fill up the sky with shades of red, yellow, orange and cream simply take its beauty to the next level. The Göreme Open Air Museum and its rock-cut churches and the subterranean wonders of Kaymakli are among the best things to see in Cappadocia. How is the list? Share your thought below in the comment section. If you are new here, don't forget to subscribe us for future contents. As always, thank you for watching and I'll see you in the next video.
Places on our planet that everyone dreams of, but there are also places that can kill you if you treat them disrespectful. And today you will see 10 of the most dangerous places on the earth. Number 1. Death Valley, USA. This stunning desert holds the record for the highest temperature ever recorded on our planet, 134 degrees Fahrenheit, 56.7 Celsius. The air temperature during the summer has been as high as 57 degrees Celsius. No matter how tough you are, the blazing sun and searing heat of Death Valley will make you exhausted very quickly. Without water, you can live here for only 14 hours. Also, there are a lot of dangerous animals as well, so never place your hands or feet where you cannot see first. Rattlesnakes, scorpions, or black widow spiders may be sheltered there. The extreme heat of Death Valley has killed people in the past. It will continue to kill those who do not honor this extreme climate. Death Valley does not forgive those who are not careful. Number 2. The Danakil Desert, Eritrea. The area is located in the Afar region of northeast Ethiopia, near the border with Eritrea. The climate here can only be described as cruel, but against all odds, people do live here. The Afar people call it their home. Known as the Gateway to Hell, the Danakil Depression in Ethiopia is incredibly hot and one of the most alien places on Earth. The hot and dry climate means that few plants or animals can survive there. There are also a lot of salty poison pools that have a great percent of carbon dioxide in them. Because carbon dioxide is heavier than normal air, it sinks to the ground. So when small creatures like birds breathe the area just above the lake, they suffocate. Most people would probably consider this terrible place a literal hell on earth. But it still attracts lots of brave adventurers from all around the world. Just keep in mind that visiting the Danakil Desert on your own, without an experienced guide, is strictly forbidden. Number 3. Mount Washington, USA. Known as the most dangerous small mountain in the world, 6,288-foot Mount Washington boasts some scary stats. The highest wind velocity ever recorded at any surface weather station, 231 miles per hour, was logged here on April 12, 1934, and 137 fatalities have occurred since 1849. No surprise, most are due to hypothermia, and not only in winter. The summit of Mount Washington holds the world record for the fastest winds on the surface of the Earth. The highest recorded speed here is 203 miles per hour, 327 kilometers per hour. The strong winds, however, are not the only concern in the area. The freezing temperatures that can drop as low as -40 degrees and continuous heavy snowfalls make Mount Washington a very dangerous place. Despite the modest height, 6,288 feet, Mount Washington is one of the world's deadliest peaks. The loads that the human body experiences at the top of it can be compared to the ones it would experience on the peak of Mount Everest. Number 4. Sinabung Volcano, Indonesia. This is an active volcano situated on the Indonesian island of Sumatra. Eruptions occur here very frequently, often leaving thousands of people without shelter or livelihood. The nearby towns and villages have been completely covered in lava and ash several times already, in 2010, 2013, 2014, and 2015. The latest explosion occurred February 27, 2016. That eruption ejected a deadly cloud of volcanic gas, stone, and ash to a height of 2,500 meters, and no one knows what will happen there tomorrow. There are nearly 130 volcanoes in Indonesia due to the country's geographic position on the so-called Ring of Fire, a belt of tectonic plates circling the Pacific Ocean with frequent seismic activities. 3 volcanoes in Indonesia are currently active. Number 5. Ilha de Queimada Grande, Snake Island, Brazil. Hidden somewhere off the coast of Brazil, this island is widely recognized as the most dangerous place on Earth. The reason for this is quite simple. This place is full of one of the most venomous snakes in the world, Bothrops. The mysterious island is known as Ilha de Queimada Grande, and it is in fact so dangerous to set foot there that Brazil has made it illegal for anyone to visit. The danger on the island comes in the form of the golden lancehead snakes, a species of pit viper and one of the deadliest serpents in the world. Snake Island is uninhabited, but people used to live there for a short period up until the late 1920s, when, according to legend, the local lighthouse keeper and his family were killed by vipers that slithered in through the windows. Today, the Navy periodically visits the lighthouse for upkeep and makes sure no adventurers are wandering too close to the island. Number 6. Madidi National Park, Bolivia. Madidi National Park is located in the upper Amazon River basin of northern Bolivia, close to the borders of Peru and Brazil. Due to its status as a protected conservation area, as well as its unique natural topography, Madidi contains a particularly diverse array of plant and animal wildlife, even compared to other parts of the Amazon. At first sight, this place looks very picturesque, but it's actually very dangerous, because it's home to the most poisonous and aggressive fauna in the world. Contact with any of the plants growing in this park can cause severe itching, rash, and dizziness. Any cut or even a small wound can become infected with tropical parasites. Visitors will also get a chance to experience wild animals such as snakes, jaguars, and bears, all of which prey on humans. Wild pigs are among the worst, known to literally tear human visitors apart, leaving them strewn across the park floor in pieces. Number 7. Bikini Atoll, the Marshall Islands. The Marshall Islands, located in the boundless Pacific, have long been popular with the followers of the recreation in the exotic places. The archipelago of the Bikini Atoll is considered an incredibly dangerous recreation site. Lost somewhere in the ocean, this island looks like a paradise, doesn't it? But Bikini Atoll was actually home to numerous nuclear testing programs that turned the picturesque island of Bikini into a radioactive wasteland. The inhabitants were forced to abandon their homes, and even today this remains hazardous for living organisms. The abnormally high level of radiation recorded here can cause cancer. During a certain period, the atoll has experienced more than 65 experiments. After the beginning of the military experiments, the local residents were repeatedly evacuated to the other islands. Number 8. Elephant Kingdom in Chonburi, Thailand. In Elephant Kingdom, Thailand, at a crocodile farm, the owner leases out a small semi-closed raft space for tourists to come visit, see, and feed crocodiles. The raft is a thin wooden, one balanced on plastic barrels, and has net enclosure halfway around it. The shack has a roof too. The people get inside the enclosure and are given fishing rods to feed the crocs. They use beef or meat pieces attached to the rods and dangle the rods before the crocodiles. The reptiles then jump out of the water to catch the meat and their food. There are tourists who also tease the crocs by dangling the meat in front of them and then pulling it up as the hungry animals reach for it. You can imagine if one of the tourists accidentally slips or pushes inside. A wooden boat can break down. Number 9. Lake Natron, Tanzania. Located in East Africa, the United Republic of Tanzania is home to many natural wonders, among which is the Erie Lake Natron. It got its name due to the mixture of salt and minerals called natron, which are revealed when the water's level decreases. Natron is a compound that occurs naturally, comes from volcanic ash, and mainly consists of sodium bicarbonate and sodium carbonate. Here are some photos of what this place is capable of. No one really knows how these animals die. On theory, expressed by photographer Nick Brandt, is that the reflective nature of the surface of the water is confusing to the birds who crash into the lake. The extreme sodium bicarbonate content preserved them perfectly, making them look like statues. Number 10. Bermuda Triangle, North Atlantic. One of the most feared areas in the world, the Bermuda Triangle is a vaguely defined expanse of the Atlantic Ocean, triangulated between Puerto Rico, Florida, and Bermuda. For decades, the area has been associated with a number of allegedly mysterious disappearances that have been credited to everything from magnetic force to aliens. While most of these cases have been explained rationally, some of them remain unexplained. Reports of unexplained occurrences in the region date to the mid-19th century. Some ships were discovered completely abandoned for no apparent reason. Others transmitted no distress signals and were never seen or heard from again. Aircraft have been reported and then vanished, and rescue missions are said to have vanished while flying in the area. However, wreckage has not been found, and some of the theories advanced to explain the repeated mysteries have been fanciful. Although theories of supernatural causes for these disappearances abound, geophysical and environmental factors are most likely responsible.
Let your mind drift to the most beautiful places in the world. Explore stunning architectural feats, a tropical paradise, and a small Scandinavian town. Tracy Arm Fjord, Alaska. Fjords are created by the slow erosion of mountain valleys as glaciers move down toward the sea. Tracy Arm Fjord in Alaska is home to orcas and a rapidly disappearing environment. The Taj Mahal in northern India is a beautiful white marble mausoleum. The Taj Mahal is regarded as the jewel of India art and is an often sought-after location for worship and tourism. The temples of Bagan sit within central Myanmar and was built as the capital of ancient Myanmar. The temples are the largest concentration of Buddhist temples, most of which dating back to the 12th and 11th centuries. Venice, the city on water, is built on 118 small islands that are separated by a vast network of canals. The city was built on the Venetian lagoon and is unlike any other city in the world. The Pyramid of Giza is one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world, located in El Giza, Egypt. The pyramid was built as a tomb in 2560 BC for the Egyptian king Pharaoh Khufu. Bora Bora is an island that once was a volcano, which has subsequently subsided and formed a barrier reef. The reef ecosystem allows for pristine clear blue water and reef's limit waves, providing a protected sanctuary. Kauai owns the medal of the rainiest place on Earth, allowing for a tropical paradise. Hike, swim, bike, and dive. Victoria Falls that borders Zambia and Zimbabwe is the largest waterfall in the world by total area. The falls transport an astonishing 1,088 cubic meters per second of water down a 350-foot cliff. The Rainbow Mountain of Zhangdanxia, China show off weathering and erosion at its most beautiful. The dramatic colors throughout the mountain are a result of trace minerals associated within the sandstone, coloring the sand in reds, greens, and yellows. Riley is a magical place only accessible by boat on a small tight peninsula. Spend your days rock climbing the limestone cliffs, exploring vast cave systems, or swimming to nearby islands. Neuschwanstein Castle, Germany. The Schwanstein, a 19th century castle in southern Germany, is the inspiration for Disneyland's Sleeping Beauty Castle. This German retreat is visited regularly during summer months as a symbol of refuge and peace. Antarctica is on average the coldest, windiest, driest, and highest continent. This desert continent is, however, home to millions of penguins of different species. Rice terrace fields of Longxing, China. Longxing is named after Longjai, which translates to dragon's backbone. The terrace resembles dragon scales as rice fields snake through the mountains. Hike up the mountain ridge where Machu Picchu sits and you will see the peak of the Inca civilization. This beautiful place was built in 1450 and was only occupied for 100 years until the Spanish conquest. The ancient city of Petra, Jordan, is an architectural masterpiece. Built into the side of a rock cliff, Petra was carved as early as 312 BC. Petra was named a UNESCO World Heritage Site and was unknown to the Western world until 1812. The island of Svalbard is located within the Arctic Ocean, north of mainland Europe. Svalbard is the northernmost settlement with a permanent population in the world. Trekking through Svalbard, it's not uncommon to see polar bears, reindeer, and perhaps an Arctic fox. Torres del Paine in southern Patagonia is a national park that boasts beautiful mountains, glaciers, lakes, and rivers. Take the trip to southern Patagonia and you can hike the partial or full circuit around the stunning granite peaks. Amazon River is the artery for the largest rainforest in the world. It is the largest river in the world by discharge and one of the largest by length. The surrounding rainforest represents over half of the world's remaining rainforest. Yellowstone National Park is the oldest national park in the U.S. and likely the world. Drive through the park and encounter an array of wildlife 10 feet away from you. The ancient Temple of Toprom was built as Buddhist monastery and university. The temple was largely left as is, with spung trees and moss growing throughout the architecture.